Let's go for a ride. Hey, you look great. Are you wearing sunscreen? Hi, it's Michelle from Unicorn and Centaur. Today's video I'm going to show you my basic summer makeup routine. So if you have sensitive skin and you live in a hot, humid climate and you work outside in the sunshine all day long, then this video is for you. Please keep watching. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you'd like to join our herd of nerdy, crafty equestrians, please click the subscribe button below and click that bell for notifications so you never miss an upload. Wait, hang on, coffee. I live in Savannah, Georgia. First of all, horses are an outdoor activity, okay? I know some people have indoor arenas and air-conditioned or heated barns and stuff like that, but I don't have that. And most people I know don't have that. So when we're working with our horses or we're riding, then we're outside. Down here, it is 80 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning, okay? So unless I want to get to the barn the night before, I need strategies for dealing with the heat and the humidity without melting all my sunscreen and my face off. By the way, I am allergic to chemical sunscreens. I can only wear physical sunscreens. That is titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. Those are the ones that sit on your skin like a physical barrier. And most of the sunscreens leave what's called a white cast. You can't just look like that all the time. It's not cute. So today, what I start with is SPF. I was using Neutrogena. Let's see what it is. Neutrogena. This is the Sheer Zinc Face Dry Touch Sunscreen SPF 50. This, of all the sunscreens I've tried, left the best feel on my face. It dries a little bit like it's dry touch. It doesn't feel like greasy and gross. And I was using this in the early spring and putting makeup on over it. What I was using was this. This is Maybelline Dream BB Cream. It has an SPF in it of 30. This is a physical sunscreen, and it's almost like a tinted moisturizer. It's a very, very light coverage. I hate like foundation and stuff on my face. I'm not about that. But I would put this on. This was my winter sunscreen. But now it's June. Y'all, the heat index was in the triple digits yesterday, okay? You can't put, even BB cream is gonna like melt completely off your face, just know. And everything you put on your face has to be, everything has to be waterproof and sweatproof. It all just has to be. This is how I live. So this was my most recent find and it has changed my life. This is the Aveeno Ultra Calming Daily Moisturizer with SPF 30. And this has titanium dioxide and zinc oxide in it. And this leaves the barest of white cast. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera. Here we go. I'm gonna use 2 pumps of that and we're gonna work that in. I have heard from sources online that you need about a 1/4 teaspoon of sunscreen to cover your entire face and neck. So I try to do that. I'm using my phone as a mirror. For my chest, I use that Neutrogena Dry Touch, and I put a little bit. Can you see how much on there? And I gotta be careful. I got my microphone on. So then this is an area that is always exposed to the sun, and I noticed a couple years ago it was just always red. That part of my chest was just always discolored, and I realized it was sun damage, and I was like, See, that's the thing. You don't have to wear makeup to the barn, but you have to protect your skin. Since I'm allergic to most sunscreens, I would just not worry about it, and I'd kind of hang out in the shade. But in the last couple years, I'm now at a barn that doesn't have as much shade cover to hide under, and I was getting more sunburns, and I was noticing sun damage along my cheekbones and my nose, and here on my chest. And freckles are cute, okay? Your natural skin color is cute. Sun damage is not cute. So when I started seeing those spots, I'm like, that's not a freckle, that's an age spot. No. So now we have our SPF on. Before I set it with powder, like I told you, I've got my little, no BB cream or anything like that, but I will use a concealer. This is one from e.l.f. Now, if you're a makeup person and you like concealer and you like foundation and you like all that stuff, you're gonna hate this concealer. It's dewy, it's sheer, there's almost nothing to it. I like it because I don't like all that much coverage. I just like a little bit of a blurring out effect under my eyes. So let me get my hand on. Oh my God, I'm about to open this upside down. So I just put a little bit on my cheeks, like just a little bit on my cheeks. So I like the sheer coverage because then if something happens and I do melt it all off completely, it's not gonna matter that much. I take a damp blending sponge. This one's from e.l.f. It was like $6 or something like that. And that, it doesn't hide anything, but it just sort of smooths all that middle-aged lady age spot crap out in the middle. I don't have time for that. All right, next I want to set the SPF that I put on my face and set the under eye concealer with a little bit of powder. This is Rimmel Stay Matte powder. This is only like $3, and I just like it. So I'm gonna go back in. This is the damp beauty blender again. And I'm just using it to powder my face. Using a damp sponge helps press it in there. You're not like fluffing all this crazy powder on your face. Okay, get that nose, girl. I'm also gonna put just a little bit on my eyelids because we're gonna do a little bit of an eye look. Just a little bit of an eye look. Nobody get excited. So now I've really just got like a pale face. Again, I could just go to the barn like this. I'm fine, but I'm a little bit extra. So we are going to use, I don't even know if you can see this anymore. I put a pan on it. This is the Rimmel Natural Bronzer. The reason I use this bronzer is because it is waterproof and has an SPF in it. This stuff stays on even after riding and sweating wearing a helmet. Like I will take my helmet off and I've still got bronzer on my forehead. So this just kind of brings a little bit of depth and dimension back to your face so you're not like flat, pale pancake face. A little bit of bronzer there, a little bit of bronzer there. All right, there we go. I'm bronze. Okay, so now after bronzer, I do want a little bit of blush. This is the NYX Sweet Cheeks blush palette. And honestly, if you buy this, I found it on sale. This is normally like 20 bucks or something ridiculous like that. But I found it on sale, 50% off. So it was like 10 bucks. And I was like, yes. So I normally like rosier colors, but I actually dip into this so much. But this, honestly, if you buy this, you don't ever need to buy blush again. You're done. You're done buying blush. These are all the colors you could possibly need. And if you need more colors than that, you're more extra than me. So I will link all of the makeup and sunscreen products that I'm using in today's video, or I talk about in today's video. I will link below. I do have Amazon affiliate codes. If you shop through those codes, it's possible for Unicorn and Centaur to earn a small commission off of any purchases you make at no extra charge to you. Do me a solid. Click my links. I'm not going to do highlight because we're going to sweat. That is what's happening. We don't highlight at the barn. We just dab moisture away from places we don't want to shine. That's how we do that. I do brows. My eyebrows are not too bad, but they are sparse in a few areas. So hang on, let me brush my brows up. Again, in the heat and humidity, you're gonna sweat a brow right off. You're gonna sweat a brow right off. So here is what my current favorite, these, I don't know if we can even see these, they're so little. This is Essence. These are Essence eye pencils. Now they say waterproof, but if you sweat enough and you rub enough, you're not gonna have a brow left. But these are pretty durable because you know you're gonna sweat. You're gonna sweat your brows off. Some tips if you're not used to doing brows, go a shade lighter than your hair color. Otherwise it can look a little bit harsh. And really, again, I'm not doing Instagram brows. I'm not aggressively drawing anything on here. Going with my natural shape, filling in some holes, checking to make sure they're kind of even. Okay. Out here on the tail of it, sometimes I need to brush the brow hairs down so I can get in that outer edge. Good. And again, I could go to the barn like this and we're fine. At any point of this, you can be like, you know what, I'm done, I'm going to ride. And that's a valid choice. Oh yeah, so now my eye look. Now here, we're gonna use our Rimmel bronzer as an eyeshadow. So I take, this is a Wet n Wild, just like a crease blending brush. And I use this as a transition shade in the eye. Because remember, it's waterproof. It really, really stays. And we're gonna build it up. And we just are putting it in the crease of the eye. Now, because this is bronzer and not eyeshadow, this is not the most highly pigmented thing that you can put on your eye. So you're gonna have to make some passes about it. So there we go. A subtle shadowed effect to do is use some shadow. This is my favorite thing. This is the Hard Candy Galactic Eyes eyeshadow palette, and these are all metallic shades. And this shade down here looks just completely ordinary and boring, and I was like, I will never ever use that shade, but it's my favorite. It's like a champagne-y kind of gold. What's the color called? Constellation. This color is called Constellation. A little bit of NYX glitter primer. This is like a little sticky eye primer that you put on your lids, just the teeniest little dab, and I dab it all over my lid. This is gonna give that metallic shadow something to stick to. It's gonna make it really pop, and it's gonna make it stick to your eyelid even when you're sweating your business off. And I go in with the finger that I just put that glitter primer on. I go right into that shade with my finger. I wouldn't use a brush with these shades. The fallout is real. So then we take our finger and then pat on. Let's see if I can get close and show you. I love this shade because it is similar to my own skin tone. So it looks like shiny and sparkly, but as I sweat, if I sweat some of it off, it doesn't look patchy. Like darker, more dramatic shades, as you sweat them off, as they come off or rub off, it becomes obvious. They get patchy, they get creasy, they get weird. But with this shade, because it's so close to my natural skin tone, even if it's patchy or creasy or weird, so I don't want to, I'm not going to do a dramatic winged eye. You can do that if you want. You do you, boo. But here's what I'm going to do. I've got this Wet n Wild Mega Last eyeliner pencil, and this is waterproof. This is not going to give you a sharp wing. This is not going to change your life and do your taxes. This is just going to accentuate your lash line a little bit. Just using little feathery strokes. I'm adding lashes. Look at me go. Nothing too dramatic. Keep it kind of smoky. Now we're going to curl our lashes with an eyelash curler. And I curl in two places. I get as close to the roots as I can and give it a squeeze. And then I go a little bit further out, almost to the tips. And then we're going in with mascara. This is L'Oreal Lash Paradise, the waterproof formula. Actually, I like the waterproof formula of the Lash Paradise better than the non-waterproof formula. I feel like the non-waterproof formula dries out faster and just is a little bit clumpier. This to me just makes nice, pretty lashes without looking like you have chocolate cake crumbs in your eyelashes. You know what I'm talking about? Now for lips. I did do a lip products for shedding season video. I will link that right above if you want to check that out. And those are all like lip stains and matte formulas, things that aren't going to be sticky. So today though, I can use something that is a little bit different. This is the Essence Kiss the Unicorn lipstick. It's a color changing lipstick. I know, it's so 7th grade, but I couldn't help it. I was in Ulta and I was like, Kiss the Unicorn. Such a sucker for the packaging. I'm sorry. Don't judge me. Okay, so the thing about this is it's purple, but it actually goes pink on your lips, and it really like stains your lips that color. If you don't want your lips stained, don't use this stuff. But if you want to put something on and then still have like a rosy fresh lip without thinking about it for a while, then this is your jam. Okay. There you have it. That whole thing from sunscreen to lipstick takes about 10 minutes. Now the real test is going to the barn and riding horses and being outside in the sunshine and getting filthy and sweaty and seeing how it all holds up. You are supposed to reapply sunscreen every few hours, and if you're out at the barn for hours in the sun like I am every day, then you are going to need to reapply. So the next part of this video, real quick, before we're all done with everything, we're gonna do a barn check-in. I'm gonna take the camera to the barn, I'm gonna show you how the look holds up and show you what I do to not only beat the heat, but to reapply my sunscreen if necessary. So let's go to the barn. Right now, I am covered in sweat and dirt from the horses, horsehair, bug spray, sunscreen, like it's all over me. I can't just put another layer of sunscreen on top of this. So I'm a big fan of rags. I'm a big fan of rags. See, it's just, you can get a whole pack of these at the dollar store or real cheap at whatever store you go to. And what I do, now I understand, remember all that glorious bronzer and blush we put on this morning? That was so exciting. It was just so much fun. Well, if you've got to reapply your sunscreen, you can kind of say goodbye to it. Although at the end of the day, I usually still have some bronzer happening. Then I've got I bring this with me, my sunscreen that I used on my face. Get a little more on here. I used 2 pumps this morning and just 1 right now. And I'm mainly concentrating it on the center of my face and across my cheekbones. Here we go. And now we're gonna be protected. Oh my gosh. So we had to say goodbye to a little bit of the bronzer with the reapplication, but bring yourself a rag to the barn. As you can see, I've still got lips, I still have brows, I still have shiny eyelids. That's all for our Barn Beauty video today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe. So here is the final look. Extreme closer! All right, there we go, we're done.